Sports Minutes with Ziaul Raushan.
Money FM 89.3. It's time for Sports Minutes with me, Ziaul Raushan. Now the build-up to the brand new season continues, and in recent episodes we've heard from teams in the east. So it's only right we switch our focus to one hailing from the west. Tanjong Pagar United may have finished bottom of the pile last season, but if the noises they are making ahead of the brand new campaign is to be believed, they are not here just to make numbers. Head coach Noor Alam Shah has enlisted the services of plenty of foreign players. Chief amongst those is Australian centre-back Aaron Evans, who joins me on the show. Aaron, welcome to Sports Minutes. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be here.
Very excited to have you. I've been trying to pin you down since you touched down. Here you are in the flesh. Let's talk Tanjong Pagar United, a side who quite frankly struggled last season. We've had a pre-chat already, and I can understand how much you bring to the table. But why Tanjong Pagar?
For me, it was very simple, to be honest. I received an invitation for a video call with coach, and within a few minutes, I realised that he's the coach for me. His mentality, his philosophy, his thinking of football, and also being an ex-football player himself, it just made sense to me. We were on the same path. We're aligned with a lot of things. And for me, it was a very simple decision.
I think you're going to make a lot of friends by saying you're a fan of Alam Shah because he's a household name, he's a legend. He's been in that seat before on Sports Minutes. You talk about aligning with him in terms of ethos, right? I want to ask you this. When you got on that call with him, he must have sold you a vision in terms of what Tanjong Pagar hoped to achieve in the season ahead. What was that vision?
Top 2.
Wow. And is that feasible?
100%.
And what makes you so confident?
One, I'm here, and I believe in myself. And I believe in him, and we're aligned on that 100%. He also obviously broke down what he wants from myself personally, and I feel that I can provide that and more, and also which players he's going to bring in and which existing players he's going to keep. We had like I said, an amazing chat, and everything just aligned. So it all just was completely made sense and was an easy decision.
You didn't take 2 seconds to tell me top 2, but I have to ask you this because you say top 2, right? I'm guessing that other team in that equation is the Lion City Sailors. We're here to talk about Tanjong Pagar, but let me ask you this about the Sailors. You must be aware of the noise they're making. What does that make you feel as an opposition?
Look, good on them, to be honest. But at the end of the day, talk is cheap. I can sit here and also say a lot of things, but it all comes down to action. Look, they're the biggest team. In my opinion, they have the most pressure on them, and they have to go into every single match with that pressure, and every single game they're going to have to bring their 100% because a team like Tanjong Pagar and all the other teams in the league, that's the team that they want to beat. So if they come at 50%, if they come at 80, at 90, and Tanjong Pagar come at 100, well, if you can do the maths, which everybody can, they're going to have a tough day. So good on them for what they're doing. It's also fantastic for the league. They've obviously just signed a Brazilian striker who obviously has done his accolades in Japan, which is phenomenal, great for the league. But at the end of the day, he's still got to perform here as well. I'm not saying he will, I'm not saying he won't, but he's still got to show up, just as myself as well. I've obviously had a career on my own, have my own accolades, but that doesn't mean anything unless I implement that here in the Singapore League this season.
Let's dive a little deeper into that career you've had. I'm going to dial the clocks all the way back when you were a kid in Canberra. Was football always your dream?
Absolutely. Ever since I can remember, it was always football. Whether I was at home watching football, kicking a football around, playing with my older brother, kicking the ball around with my dad, it was always football. Even growing up through the years, even at school, when your teachers say, okay, what do you want to do as a profession? I would always say professional football player. Teachers would laugh at me. They'd say, no, I need a real job. And for me, I was that locked in, that zoned in, that I wanted to be a professional football player, that obviously I spoke it, I dreamt it, then inevitably spoke it and dreamt it into reality because I've obviously had and made a career for myself.
I'm laughing at those who said real job because that real job, the beautiful game, has taken you to places like Croatia, Hong Kong, Thailand, Laos, Indonesia, India, and now Singapore. That's some journey to be on, right? Would you, if you rewind the clocks and talk to 16-year-old Aaron, right, would he believe that you're going to go on this amazing journey?
No, absolutely not. 16-year-old Aaron thought that it was Europe or there was no way. I grew up, and I think every young footballer has obviously the dreams and the aspirations to play for the big 5 countries in the world, whether it's England, Spain, Italy, and the rest. That is the dream. 16-year-old me didn't think Asia was a path. I wasn't brought up thinking or knowing that Asia had such things on offer until I was able to put myself in that position, and then I've just fallen in love with Asian football. And now that I've got my Croatian passport, so I'm eligible to play in Europe, I don't see myself going outside of Asia anymore because I've fallen in love with the culture and the footballing lifestyle here in Asia.
And you talk about falling in love with the culture. I understand the allure of Asia, right? But in terms of the countries I mentioned, you're, I dare say, a journeyman. You've been to so many different destinations. There must be some fatigue in terms of just settling into new places. Is that at all true?
100% that's true. And anybody who says it's not is lying. It's very, you get a lot of fatigue. It's a lot of stress. It's very difficult. Even the plain simple fact of not being able to speak the language, not knowing your supermarkets, not knowing where to go, not having friends, not having your family or friends that you can even get on the phone or meet up with when times are tough. It's extremely exhausting and tiring, but at the end of the day, this is the life that I've chosen to be a professional football player. And if that means all these things come with it, then I'm all for it. I adapt, I adjust, and I figure out on my own and in my own way how I'm going to make it work.
No, Aaron, thank you for setting that context, because I feel a lot of people might think it's just plug and play. When you sign a big name footballer, you think, just ply your trade in a different country. But there's so much to it. Something as simple as supermarkets, like you say, right? It's all part of settling in. Are the club doing okay, helping you settle into Singapore?
Yeah, no, the club's been fantastic so far, to be honest. Ever since I've arrived here in Singapore, they've been fantastic. Not that I need much, because I'm here on my own. My partner's back in Australia, but I guess I'm a simple man in that sense when I'm on my own. Obviously, I like my trinkets, I like my fancy things, blah, 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 blah. But I'm here for a job. I'm here for football. So I'm not the kind of player or person off the field that's going to demand a beautiful apartment, a beautiful car, X, Y, and Z. I'm simple in that sense because I'm here to execute my plan and my job, which is to play football.
You've given us plenty of insight into Aaron Evans, the man, the person. I can't wait to get stuck in to find out more about the player. But before that, we talked about your career, your storied career thus far, right? Before you embark on this new adventure in Singapore, when you look back on everything you've achieved, what are some standout moments that you think made you grow?
I take everything from a negative situation. So any time that I've had any negativity in my life, whether it's my personal life or, let's say, my semi-professional football career or my professional career, that's when I learn the most about myself and I grow from that. Because yes, it is cliche, but they say you don't learn anything from winning. In a sense, I disagree with that because you learn a lot. You learn to have confidence, you learn to believe in yourself. But for myself personally, I have learned so much more in negative moments, whether that's me falling out with a club, me that's falling out with a player, me that's having something going wrong in my personal life. That's where I learn and that's where I grow, and then that's where I implement that into my life going forward, whether that is professional or personal.
No, that's good to know, because I'm of the same opinion that you learn more from hard times than good times, right? Let's talk about Singapore. There are a whole bunch of listeners tuning in now who are excited to watch you in action. Give them a bit of a teaser. What is the Aaron Evans mark?
Aaron Evans is front and centre. He's loud, and you know what you're going to get with me. I'm very funny, very light-hearted, a clown, I'll say, a joker off the field. I like to, create the vibe, have a good positive energy. But the second I step over that white line and onto the football pitch, I flick a switch in my mind, which I think is 100% necessary, and it's business for me. Even if I'm joking with my teammates in the locker room prior, once I step over that line, it's no joking for me anymore. Maybe for my teammates, they're still in that joking mode, but for me, it's dead serious. I'm locked in, I work hard, very aggressive, very loud, and I just do my job.
You talk about being loud. I'm assuming that means you're going to be quite the leader as well, and certain whispers coming out of the Jurong East Stadium suggest you're quite the leader as well. Tell us, are you just more than just loud? You talked about setting the vibes. Is your leadership more hand on the shoulder or lead by example?
It's a bit of both and everything in between. I think it's important to build relationships outside of football with my players first. I also think it's important to build relationships with my players internally as well. So by doing that, obviously, I pick and choose my times when to be a clown in terms of being in the dressing room or, at team functions, etc., etc. But then on the pitch, it's all about constructive criticism, let's just say. So, okay, I'm loud and aggressive and front and center, but everything that I do or everything that I say is just to help our team, whether it's an individual or our team as one. So for people who don't understand football or, see me play on TV, they might think I'm a little bit crazy and angry. That's not the case. I'm loud so that when I am loud, one, my players can hear me because obviously there's fans. So my voice obviously has to be elevated. But everything that comes out of my mouth is always constructive criticism because I want the best for myself, but I also want the best for my teammates. And I've learned over the years, for example, example of mine, if someone is yelling constructive criticism at me, that zones me in, that locks me in. And I've had experienced players who I've played with before who have taught me their ways, and I've obviously absorbed that and then implemented it into my game. So that's what I'm doing. So even the first training session when I arrived here at Tanjong, obviously I got in front of the team and did the introduction, and I said, look, I don't know any one of you yet, but I'll know every single one of you by the end of day. But also, and I explained this to them word for word, I said I'm very loud, I communicate a lot. It might come across as aggressive, but please do not take it to heart. Do not think I don't like you because I like every single one of you, but I'm here to do a job. And if that means me being loud and controlling everybody and, being that leader and taking on that leadership role to win a football match, that's what I'll do.
I can see why Noah Alam Shah insisted on you joining the team because you're very much a lieutenant on the pitch. I asked you this in terms of pre-season. You spent about 2-3 weeks with the team already, and you were not joking because Tanjong Pagar, to my understanding, are putting in double sessions just to get themselves fine-tuned for the season. What's your sense of the level in terms of the local players in Singapore? Because I think it'll be highly regarded coming from someone like you.
Yeah, look, initially what I've seen technically, everyone is technically good. We're professional athletes at the end of the day, so technically is not an issue. But for me, and I've experienced this a lot throughout each country that I've been in Asia, it's a mindset issue. And I feel early days here that it is a mindset issue here as well. Some players are only 50% in. You've got some players who are 75% in. You've got some players who are 90, or you've got some players that are 10. Tanjong Pagar especially need to shift that mindset. Because, the past history hasn't been the greatest or whatever, that's in the history. But this year, looking forward, each player has to have that mindset of they're 100% solid, 100% strong, and 100% good enough to be there. Because mindset is so important. And if you're at 100%, you think you're the best, you think you can pass every ball, score every goal, tackle every person, you are one step closer to achieving that. Whereas if you doubt yourself, and by doubt I even mean 1% doubt yourself, an opponent is going to get that ball or intercept that pass or score that goal in front of you.
Yeah, I love that. I think your team talk for the first game of the season is already done there. You might want to replay this to the team. We'll step away from football. We'll come back to it in a short while. But you are quite the character off the pitch as well. A bit of snooping around, and I realize you've got 150,000 followers on Instagram. That came to attention because your signing post, I think, garnered 5-figure likes already. You're kind of a big deal on social media. How did that come about?
Look, I think social media is key nowadays, not only for professional athletes, but even for everyday people. Obviously, social media is taking over the world. And if you're not in it, then, in my opinion, what are you doing? And I'm, fortunate enough to be in a position where I'm already in the spotlight. And also, thanks to my partner, she instilled in my mind the importance of social media. Like prior to the two of us getting together, I didn't really take social media seriously. So I feel that looking back now, obviously, analysing my career, I missed out on a few opportunities. Not that I care or whatever, because it just wasn't me in the time or me in the moment. But now, again, thanks to her, I've got the mindset of utilize social media while you can. Like, yes, I am a professional football player, but I'm not going to be one forever. And usually a professional footballer's career is not very long. Okay, I've done it for 12 years currently and I'm still going, but it's going to end. And when it ends, it's kind of like, and it's very cliche as well, most footballers don't know what to do. So why not take advantage now? And with how much social media has just skyrocketed, I see social media as a platform where I can, express myself and potentially get something out of social media for the future.
I love that you already have foresight, thinking ahead beyond the playing career. Part of thinking beyond the playing career, you and your partner have set up a gym, I understand, and that's back in Australia. How do you balance being a footballer as well as a fitness entrepreneur, I guess?
Yeah, no, she's a machine. She's fantastic. She runs the business. She's computer, she's Google, she's got a mind. Her and her business partner are fantastic, and they run the day-to-days, and I'm just check in and help out where I can, because obviously at the end of the day my focus is football, and it will always be football. Even though, yes, I am on social media, yes, I post a lot, yes, I do a lot of things, my focus is still football, but I've been able to manage that and balance that in my favor.
And you talk about needing to grow that social media presence, right? I hear you, and I think that's so important. But does that almost come at a cost in terms of a distraction on the pitch, or are those two separate entities for you?
For me, they're completely separate. But again, through experience, I've learned that, yes, at the start, it was quite difficult to manage, because obviously if you're in the spotlight in social media and you're obviously in the spotlight
on the pitch,
then you're going to leave yourself open to a lot of criticism, because, as I like to call them, keyboard warriors, when your team is not going so successful but I'm still posting on social media, what do you think they're going to say? He's focused on social media, he's not focused on football. So at the start it was very tough mentally to deal with and cope with. But again, through experiences, as I mentioned before, that's how I learnt and that's how I've grown. But now, is it a distraction? Absolutely not. They go hand in hand with each other. They make sense for me with each other. I know when to post. I know when to stay quiet. I know when to respond. I know when not to, etc., etc.
No, absolutely. I think over time you learn lessons and then you find that perfect balance. I'm going to ask you this just because you are a fitness entrepreneur, but also you're a storied footballer who's been to so many clubs, right? We talked about the mental aspect of Singapore's state of football. I want to ask you about the physical infrastructure. Based on what you've seen in terms of what Tanjong Pagar offer you, how vast are the differences to what you've seen before?
Look, in comparison to other countries I've been in, I'm actually very impressed, to be honest. I've been to some countries and some clubs that have offered a lot less, and I'll say that, and I'll only say that. But here in Singapore, look, my club's been fantastic, even down to the simple things of having a clean, tidy dressing room with a number of showers and a number of toilets. There's been clubs that I've been in the past, big teams, moderate teams, lower teams, that have had facilities that you wouldn't want to even know about and you wouldn't expect from a professional team. But the facilities that have been on offer for me so far have been fantastic. I can't complain at all.
That's one for the keyboard warriors who love to slander the Singapore Premier League, but you gave the context in terms of comparison, so thank you for that. I did some digging around and you mentioned on record your hope to play in the A-League one day. I understand that the lure of it as an Australian as well, right? Is that still on the bucket list?
100%. Look, in a dream world of mine, I plan to play my final season, whenever that is, in the A-League. So, dream plan of mine is to continue to play abroad. I love being a foreigner, and I also live by the quote of become comfortable in uncomfortable situations. And for as long as I can, I want to play abroad. My partner, also agrees and accepts that as well, which makes it easy. But yeah, of course I want to play in Australia and in my own country, but I'm looking to only do that as my final year, like basically as a farewell. But it's for me, purely for me. So, I can just come back, be around my family, be around my friends, and then involve them in my career, because obviously it's quite difficult to involve my friends and family over the past 12 or 13 years when I've been not in Australia. So I want to be able to give back to them So it's selfish, we can say, but that's what I want to do. I'm all for my circle and I want to give back to my circle. So hopefully in a dream world, that's how it's going to look.
I absolutely love that, because two things I've picked up from this conversation thus far is you're bringing the fight and you've got so much foresight, and I think the league is going to be better for it. Final question before I have a bit of fun in terms of true or false with you. Complete this sentence for me. This season, I want to be remembered for
being the best centre-back in the Singapore Premier League.
There, you heard it here first. All right, Aaron, I'm going to round things up with a game of true or false again so the listeners can get to know you a bit better. All you have to answer these questions with is true or false. And if you have a story, give me the story. First one, I secretly enjoyed being called an influencer.
False.
Okay. I have scored a goal and celebrated with a cartwheel.
False, but I wish I could do a cartwheel.
You're going to have to try if you score this season, okay?
Not on these synthetics. No way. We had a friendly match on Friday. Look at my arms.
Oh, gosh.
1-1. I got one on my glute and half my shins taken off. So,
what's your go-to celebration then?
oh, okay. I'm a big UFC fan, and there's a UFC fighter from Australia, Robert Whittaker. When he does his walkout entrance, he always clenches his fist and whacks it across his heart because he's got the Southern Cross Australian logo on it. He does that. So that is my celebration, but that's also my walkout. So once I step over that white line, everybody will see me start bashing my chest. When you do see that, don't worry, I'm not choking, I'm not having a heart attack. I'm good. It's just my ritual and something that I do. So that's my go-to celebration as well.
Wow.
But also my other one is just hands out. Or really wide and just enjoying the moment.
Soak it all up.
That's it.
I need to be at Jurong Stadium for that first match. I can still remember every club I played for in order.
True.
Go on.
Canberra, Croatia. Taipo FC in Hong Kong. Kampeng Pet in Thailand. Barito Putera in Indonesia. That was for 2 years. PSM Makassar, 1 year. PSS Sleman for 2 years. That was during COVID. Persis Solo for a month. No comment. Northeast United. Then I moved to... I played NPL in Melbourne. Dandenong Thunder. Then I went to Bangladesh with Abahani. Then I moved to Mazia in the Maldives where I played in the AFC. And then now I am at Tanjong Pagar.
Wow, 100%. That's amazing, right? I would love to coach in Asia one day.
False.
Okay.
I do not want to be a coach when I retire. And I'm not closing that book. I don't close a book on anything, but I obviously have a lot of time to myself to think and to envision. I don't see myself being a coach. I may one day, maybe when I finish being a player, I might see myself become a coach, but at this present time, I don't. I think because I'm so aggressive as a football player, I don't know if I could calm down enough and implement what's required as a coach right now. Maybe in the future it'll change. Maybe my mindset will change and I'll calm down a little bit, but for now it's just foot on the gas, run through a brick wall, bus, boom, boom, boom.
Full throttle, basically.
100%.
Yeah, I love that. My partner is the fitter one between the two of us.
Absolutely false.
She might be listening. We'll find out eventually when she's in town, I guess.
She does not like fitness at all, believe it or not.
Wow.
She will do it.
Yeah.
She wants to look her best. She doesn't do cardio. She loves weights training, but she does not like fitness.
Okay.
Which is very interesting, seeing as though we own a fitness brand.
Absolutely. I've gotten into a tunnel scuffle before.
100% true.
And I've won?
100% true. And it's been more than one.
Okay, well, the teams in the league better watch out for that. I've played through injury more times than I should have.
True. Funny story. 2019, I was playing for PSM Makassar. 32nd minute, we were playing Percy Bandung. Massive team there.
Yeah.
Massive. We were playing at my home stadium. I went up for a header, broke my finger, snapped my finger right in front of my coach. And I said to my coach, "Coach, my finger's broken." He goes, "So? It's not your legs." He goes, go defend," because we're defending a corner. I got to go to mark my man, and then I don't know, it was just like the adrenaline stopped for half a second and I could feel like pain. But adrenaline then kicked back in. So what I did was I put my hand, tucked it into my shirt, and basically held my shirt up and played the rest of the 60 minutes of the match. After the match, obviously went straight to get an x-ray, confirmed broken, and I asked the doctors, I said, all right, so what's next? And they go, oh, an operation. I was like, okay, cool. When is that? And they were like, oh, tomorrow. And I was like, okay, what do I do now? They go, oh, just go home. And that was it. There was no surgery. There was no medication given to me. So a few of my mates we were out at dinner. So I joined them at dinner, had a normal dinner, went to bed the next day, woke up and had the surgery. And then 2 days later, I was on the football pitch playing. So I played with a cast and a broken finger for 3.5 months.
Wow, you don't just say you're a warrior without reason, right? Next one, a bit of a tricky one. Singaporean food is better than Indonesian food.
Ooh, I haven't tried Singaporean food. But does chicken and rice, Hainanese chicken and rice count?
Yeah, it does.
Then it's true.
Okay.
Because Hainanese chicken and rice is the best food ever.
Okay.
I can eat it breakfast, lunch and dinner without a doubt. I love it.
We've got the rest of the season to take you out for more Singaporean food. I still get pre-game butterflies.
False. Because I'm so well prepared and I know exactly what I want to do and I have to do that I don't get them anymore. Even on the biggest stage, obviously I've played in a final in front of 82,000 people, scored and got an assist. Even for that game, I didn't get butterflies. And also, this is a little bit off topic, but most people say to me or send me a message and say, good luck. I don't believe in luck. I believe in hard work. And if you're prepared, then you don't need luck. You need luck when you're not prepared. You need that affirmation when you're not prepared. So whether it's my family members or even my partner knows now, but even if someone says good luck, I respond and say, I don't need luck. I'm prepared. I'm good to go. Like, let's go. I'm good. Let's play.
You make me want to run through a brick wall right now, I tell you that.
Do you want to? I'll join you.
I've done a TikTok trend and regretted it.
I will never do a TikTok trend.
Okay.
No way. I'm purely Instagram, YouTube. I stay in my lane.
Okay.
Very much so. I know what my lane is and I stay in it and I execute that.
Speaking of the lane, this is my final question to you. I believe Tanjong Pagar United can shock people this season.
100% yes. True.
And to that end, Tanjong Pagar is one of the most well-supported clubs in the league. The Jaguar force, I'm sure, are listening to this. What's your message to them?
Look, obviously, we can't deny the results that we've had over the past couple of years. But this year's a new year, not only for Tanjong Pagar, but everyone in the league. We've obviously made a statement in our signings and the players that we've retained, also in the coaching staff and the backroom staff as well. I think that's clearly evident in the fact of what we want to achieve this season. And I've come in to execute a job. And like I've said, my goal, my aim is top 2. And whatever I've got to do to get top 2, I'm going to do. So we love your support. We appreciate your support. Come along this journey with us through the highs and the lows, because there's going to be both. There will be highs, there will be lows. But if you guys are with us, supporting us, and that's going to help us, that's going to motivate us, and that's going to push us to inevitably achieve that goal at the end of the season.
Wow, there you have it. Aaron Evans, it's been brilliant having you on Sports Minutes. You've got me so excited for the season. I signed up for a footballing conversation. You've dropped pearls of wisdom all along the way. All the best for the season ahead.
No worries. Thank you very much, and thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Sports Minutes on Money FM 89.3.